Top 10 Coolest Hippest Neighborhoods in Philadelphia. Whether you live in Philly or are planning on visiting or looking to move here, depending on your age, these 10 Philly neighborhoods should interest one and all. There is so much to do in Philly, most people that have never been here have no idea whatsoever. If you're in Philly and you find yourself bored, you only have yourself to blame. There are things you can do that cost nothing. There are places to eat if you're on a budget, there are lots of 5-star restaurants and hotels, and you can walk most of Center City in a day, see some of the most interesting sights like no other city has to offer. The art and other stuff on display for free is worth more than the price of admission in other cities that charge for much less. Philly is so diverse, there are every kind of people from just about every country on the planet, and that's a good thing. You get to enjoy and celebrate their heritage just like your heritage. There's a day for everyone. We have the Mummers, and if you don't know what that means, go on that fancy electronic thinking machine and Google Mummers of Philadelphia, and you'll see something that started well over 100 years ago, and takes place only here. More history took place in and around Philly than any other city in the entire country. You couldn't visit every major site in a week, and 2 major wars, the Civil War and the Revolutionary War, put Philadelphia right in the path of both. The city was the capital of the United States for a few years while the Founding Fathers put our government together and formed our freedoms. You can look at all the other cities in the country, and many did make some huge contributions, but none as much as Philadelphia. Number 1. Northern Liberties. This former industrial area was revitalized by artists in the 1990s, and is now a hipster hotspot pulsing with art galleries and trendy boutiques. The big thing is the piazza, which was built on the site of an old and defunct brewery. It's a huge shopping mecca and full of eateries of all types. There's lots to do here. There are restaurants from around the world, craft beer halls, and even dance clubs for your nighttime pleasure. There's also a daytime pedestrian mall with bike paths and some very unique shops, and it is called Liberties Walk. Northern Liberties has become a major place for young professionals, artists, and students, along with really good design professionals. The area has undergone a gigantic revitalization project. The fact that it's close to Center City has made it one of the city's premier neighborhoods, both for commercial and residential buildings. The number of new apartments and condos reaches into the high thousands, and the look is absolutely fabulous and ultra-modern. Northern Liberties is one of the nation's primary examples of urban renewal. Ever since the breweries, leather tanneries and textile mills that made this a 19th-century center for manufacturing closed down, the neighborhood just north of Old City had been a wasteland of abandoned factories and ramshackle row houses. But something funny happened on the way to the 21st century, and that was the concept of green architecture. In the years that followed, Northern Liberties became a haven for artsy New Yorkers priced out of Brooklyn. They, along with many design-forward Philadelphians, turned the area into the city's original hipster hangout, full of art galleries, beer bars and tattoo parlors. Many of those hipsters have grown up along with the neighborhood and can now be seen pushing strollers to vegetarian coffee shops, and European-style pedestrian malls. The piazza is a cobblestone courtyard that's provided Philadelphians with an outdoor gathering space unlike any in the country. On the ground level, the piazza is surrounded by a few high-profile restaurants and pocket boutiques selling a mix of clothes and accessories designed by shop owners. Rising above the piazza are 3 nouveau apartment buildings that create such a dramatic effect. What's most unique, though, are the free public activities that take place here, from the pro baseball and football games broadcast on a larger-than-life wall-sized screen, to the farmers' markets, fashion shows and rock concerts that make the piazza vibrant almost every day and night of the year. Number 2. University City. The University of Pennsylvania, Drexel University, The University of the Sciences and the Restaurant School at Walnut Hill College all share ground here, in the city's bustling, culturally diverse academic heart. Cutting-edge exhibitions at the Institute of Contemporary Art attract hip crowds. Budget-friendly dining options include street food stalls and international eateries, and there are plenty of casual bars. Here are some of the educational frontiers to join this great addition to Philadelphia. The University of Pennsylvania was here first, established in 1740 and still operates a 1,200-acre campus, one of the finest medical schools and hospitals in the world. The Art Institute of Philadelphia. The Chestnut Hill College. The Curtis Institute of Music. DeVry University, Center City. Drexel University. Holy Family University. La Salle University and Moore College of Art and Design. There's lots of things to do here and for the college crowd that lives here. Public parks are very abundant. If you have a dog, don't leave them home, take them over to Drexel Park for a nice stroll, and don't forget, dogs are the perfect conversation starters too. If you're one who is into sports and fitness, try Penn Park. This park consists of 24 acres of turf fields, grass fields, and walking paths, making it a perfect place to enjoy a day full of activities. Clark Park is great to lay back and enjoy movies, during University City's awesome festival, the Outdoor Movie Series. The park doesn't just host movies either, you can also enjoy live concerts as well as shop for fresh produce at their pop-up farmers market that runs year-round, on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Clark Park's farmers market isn't the only place that will fill your plate with local produce. University City has over 7 markets that are spread out all throughout the neighborhood. There's lots of other fun things to do besides the parks. Let's start with a place called the Porch at 30th Street Station, one of the largest train stations in the country. The Porch is an awesome place offering everything from yoga sessions, a beer garden, outdoor seating, and even a miniature golf place. Besides those, you may see a pop-up science show from one of the local museums, usually being televised live on a local TV station. If you're not the type who likes to buy and make, there are tons of restaurants in University City. If you're into food trucks, Drexel's food truck lineup at 35th and Market is unbelievable. Ask anyone in the area, and expect some lines to be forming. Number 3. Fairmount. Fairmount is home to many renowned museums along the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. This area is very upscale, and the streets are lined with very exquisite high-end apartment buildings, condos, and townhomes. At night you can see the lights from Boathouse Row, create a view like no other on earth. Here are some points of interest of this area. Let us start with the best first. The Philadelphia Museum of Art. This world-class art museum is one of the largest art museums in the United States and boasts over 227,000 objects, spanning from world-class European artworks to American paintings, prints, drawings and other decorative arts. The museum even houses Asian art from the 3rd century BC. I'm sure most of you have seen this beautiful building. It's where the Rocky movie was filmed with Sylvester Stallone running up the steps. One of the most famous steps in the world, I would think. This is also where you can see the statue of Rocky right out front. The Rodin Museum. The world-famous Rodin Museum boasts the second largest collection of Auguste Rodin's work and is a tribute to every phase of his artistry. The garden with its reflection pool is a main feature of the museum that showcases 8 works, including The Thinker, The Gates of Hell and The Return of the Shade and Adam sculptures. Inside the Art Deco building, patrons can find Rodin's paintings, and over 140 bronzes, marbles and plasters. The Franklin Institute. A favorite for both children and the curious adult, the Franklin Institute offers something for everyone. From science exhibits explaining global climate change to famous special exhibits such as Body Works, Pompeii exhibit, Egyptian artifacts and so much more. They also have their special events and IMAX theater which hosts some of the latest films and science documentaries. They also have a giant human heart you can even walk through. The kids love it. The Barnes Foundation. The Barnes Foundation is admired for its collection of post-impressionist works and early modern paintings including works by Renoir, Cézanne, and Picasso, which makes it one of the must-see attractions of Philadelphia and one of the top destinations in the world for true art lovers. You can also find African sculptures, indigenous ceramics, jewelry and textiles, as well as American paintings and Mediterranean antiquities. On site, you can also find the Barnes Arboretum which contains more than 2,000 varieties of trees and plants, some of which are very rare. The Swan Memorial Fountain. This fountain is famous worldwide, seen in movies and in Time and Saturday Evening Post magazines, to name a couple. The ornately sculpted Swan Memorial Fountain is a centerpiece of the city, located in the center of Logan Circle, surrounded by the Academy of Natural Sciences, the Franklin Institute and St. Peter's Basilica. Number 4. Fishtown. Cool Fishtown is where Philly's culinary, art and music trends really begin this 21st century. A magnet for hipsters and art and crafts types, the former working-class neighborhood marks the first Friday of the month by opening the galleries and studios along Frankfort Avenue to the public. The vibrant nightlife includes hip bistros, beer gardens and a retro arcade. Indie bands perform at the landmark Johnny Brenda's, a popular gastro pub. In recent years Fishtown has experienced a very moderate revitalization which caused a significant rise in housing prices but also the opening of upscale art, entertainment, and dining establishments. An influx of artists and professionals have joined the ranks of police officers, firefighters, nurses, carpenters, electricians, and the true American middle class in this neighborhood. The neighborhood was chosen by the state of Pennsylvania to be the site of the Sugar House Casino Gaming Complex, located on the Delaware River. Originally this caused discourse among the neighborhood residents and business people. Luckily, they were able to draw up a community benefits agreement between the Sugar House Casino and the community as a whole. The casino provides money for many community projects, more security and city police, and the changes made have been remarkable for the area. The turnover has completely changed the neighborhood as a whole and the quality of life is much better for all. There are tons of restaurants, bars, craft beer bars, shopping of every kind, along with parks and other entertainment. Here are some suggestions. If you are into craft beers, well, wait until you see this place. Bottle Bar East, 1308 Frankfort Avenue. With a modest selection of over 800 bottles to go or to stay, Bottle Bar East has become the go-to bottle shop for Philadelphia craft beer drinkers. Pick out a bottle from the massive, worldwide collection. And here's another beer bar, but they sell what they make right there on site. St. Benjamin's Brewing Company, 1710 North 5th Street. Located in a historic carriage house and stables of a defunct 19th and 20th century brewery, offering all original beer brewed on site, but also local wine, cocktails, and mead beverages. So, instead of beer, how about a distillery? Row House Spirits, 2430 Frankfort Avenue. While Philly is widely known for their breweries, Row House Spirits Distillery offers a differentiated alternative to beer with malt, corn, and rye-based spirits. You can enjoy some libations in their tasting room. It's like moonshine, but legal. Maybe you are a wine lover? Well then head over to the Fishtown Social, 1525 Frankfort Avenue. Fishtown Social is a true wine bar through and through, with a wine list designed by a certified master sommelier. With a clean and simple interior and basic, light small snacks to order, there won't be anything to distract you from your premium glass of vino. Number 5. Bela Vista. The tree-lined residential streets of Bela Vista is best known for the open-air Italian market along 9th Street. Foodies flock to the neighborhood's bustling groceries, bakeries and restaurants to sample diverse cuisines that range from Italian to Asian to Mexican and beyond. Nearby are the rival, self-proclaimed cheesesteak inventors, Gino's and Pat's King of Steaks. Close by is Bardacino Park, which features bocce ball courts. The locals have friendly bocce ball teams and tournaments, and they even have a children's league which is made up of all nationalities and ages. Bela Vista, Italian for beautiful sight, is a neighborhood in South Philadelphia. For the record, this street is where in the original Rocky film, that Sylvester Stallone was filmed jogging and being cheered on for his character Rocky Balboa's upcoming fight in the movie. Many of the scenes were filmed right in this neighborhood. There are so many cool things to do in this neighborhood. Restaurants and bars. Ralph's, America's oldest Italian restaurant, this two-floor tribute to old-school Italian-American fare still packs in the crowds, more than a century after opening its doors. Loyal patrons go for the basics, sausage and peppers, mussels red or white, and usually go home with doggy bags. Villa di Roma, with red brick tiles outside and murals of old Italy inside, this reliable Italian market old-timer is a charming tribute to the Philadelphians who call their tomato sauce gravy. The lengthy menu serves up the full roster of classics, spaghetti and meatballs, clams casino, veal, baked ziti and Chianti by the glass. Cafes and bakeries. Anthony's Italian Coffee and Chocolate House. The Italian market's longtime refueling refuge offers panini, espresso drinks and house-made pizza and gelato, while Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin croon in the background. A few doors down, the cafe's chocolate shop sends guests home sweetly. Sarcone's Bakery. For nearly a century, the brick ovens of this family-owned bakery have been firing the seeded rolls that house the city's favorite hoagies. But the sleeper hit here is tomato pie, squares of pizza dough topped with a tangy tomato sauce, best enjoyed at room temp. Shops. Anastasia's Antiques, specializing in Victoriana, this 2,400 square foot shop feels straight out of a movie set. Former art students stock their shop with elegant furnishings and intricate jewelry. Goods vintage, unexpected finds hide in every corner of this hip vintage wonderland. Mid-century modern accents share shelf space with aloha shirts, turquoise statement jewelry and retro barware. Claudio Specialty Foods, a salad bar's worth of olives, a half-dozen cases of cheese and shelves of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, dry pasta, canned tomatoes and other Italian specialties are for sale at this friendly, well-priced Italian market store. Next door, Claudio's makes and vends mozzarella. Number 6. Manayunk. Manayunk lies along the Schuylkill River banks. It has a small-town vibe, with row houses, lofts and very old Victorian homes. Along its hilly streets, the steep incline of the Manayunk Wall punishes riders in an annual bike race. Galleries and boutiques, craft shops and others line Main Street, while its trendy restaurants and bars evoke the area's Indian Lenape name, the place to drink. The restaurants and bars make up a good part of Main Street, from the creme brulee French toast and fluffy waffle served at Winnie's, to the finest flavored martinis to worldwide wines and high-end dining of several places, and everything in between. There are pubs, taverns and dive bars alike. You will not be bored for a second. If it's a nice day out, spend some time and take a stroll down the Manayunk towpath, about 2 miles long and a very scenic walkway. This walkway was used for over 100 years so horses could pull barges of supplies into Philadelphia and the surrounding areas, with cargo that included fresh vegetables from the Amish farms located in the surrounding counties and other products from the north, south and west. Take some time and walk Main Street, where you can browse boutiques like Threads, The Little Apple and Pineapple on Main, or discover your next favorite musical artist at Main Street Music. Go bar hopping along Main Street. There are dives like Bitch's Pub to upscale wine bars like Jake's and Cooper's to lively spots like the Grape Room. There's something for everyone when it comes to Main Street nightlife. Number 7. Chestnut Hill. Featuring tree-lined streets with stately historic mansions and Victorian townhouses, affluent Chestnut Hill is known as the city's Garden District. Home to the Morris Arboretum and its Canopy Walkway, the neighborhood also draws literature fans and aspiring wizards to the Harry Potter Festival every October. Picturesque Germantown Avenue is lined with antiques shops, art galleries, tea rooms and farmers markets. And there are plenty of places to eat in Chestnut Hill. Philadelphia's historic Garden District is known for its beautiful trees and flowers. It's a very welcoming community. There are food tours and walking tours available. Check online. A few points of interest. Chestnut Hill Conservancy, founded in 1967, this educational center and advocate for the preservation of Chestnut Hill's iconic and important history offers periodic Chestnut Hill walking tours throughout the year. They've also got a self-guided version you can enjoy at your leisure, and offer programs for children as well. Number 8. Passayunk Square. Passayunk Square is a very hip and up-and-coming neighborhood in South Philadelphia, made up of brownstones and historic and very narrow Trinity houses. These homes and commercial stores are 16 to 18 feet wide, but 60 or more feet deep and usually 3 stories high. These affordable buildings and diverse dining options attract hipsters and young professionals alike. East Passayunk Avenue is lined with vintage shops, gastropubs and Vietnamese soup spots, as well as cheesesteak rivals Pat's King of Steaks and Gino's Steaks. Outdoor street festivals are popular here during the warmer months. The local hangouts offer many unusual and pleasing characters like you may not see anywhere else. The Garage. For real local flavor. Housed in the former Satellite Auto Body Shop, they have 300 varieties of beer and cider, is a no-frills place to shoot pool, play pinball and even try your hand at a boardwalk favorite, skee ball. There's an on-site food trailer that welcomes a rotating roster of chefs, sometimes from featured breweries. And the Bring Your Own Food policy encourages customers to sample South Philly's finest cheesesteaks. Pat's and Gino's are right across the street. Bing Bing Dim Sum. If you're looking for authentic Asian cuisine, you better look elsewhere, because the owners are well known for their own personal style of Asian cooking which is based on tradition, but it's never defined by it. They have a style all their own and people love it. There is also Underdog's Hot Dog Shop. They specialize in high-quality toppings, specialty dogs and house-made fries with some very unique dips. Ray's Happy Birthday Bar. This place is a 1950s watering hole with wood-paneled walls. It looks every bit its age and a fun place to go. Black and Brew. This is a friendly neighborhood cafe with free Wi-Fi and local art on the walls. You can enjoy delicious breakfast and lunch options, along with Colombian coffee and homemade treats. And Termini Brothers. This is the place to go for authentic Italian pastries, especially the filled-to-order cannolis. New in the neighborhood. Columbus Square. Columbus Square Park at 12th and Wharton recently underwent a $3 million facelift and a new name, Columbus Square. There are athletic fields, gathering places along Reed Street and patio on 13th Street, and a new dog park that has long runs and antibacterial grass. There is also a new pathway system that allows access from all 4 corners. Number 9. South Street. Until the 1950s, South Street was known mainly as a garment district, with stores for men's suits and other clothing, while the more western areas around South Street served as a cultural and commercial center for South Philadelphia's African American community. Now home to over 400 independent retail shops, restaurants and taverns with tastes from around the globe, salons, body art parlors, fashion boutiques, live music and theater, fun classes, and art galleries, including Philadelphia's Magic Gardens. If you have ever been to Las Vegas and the Freak Show downtown on Fremont Street, well, this is a smaller version and is totally unique on its own merit. Shopping. South Street is an invasion of lights and colors, with its many shop windows filled with every kind of peculiar object. Visitors can find antique shops and independent bookstores, or even an anarchist bookshop. You can find a comic at Atomic City Comics and buy the perfect pair of sneakers, or check out some music at South Street Sounds. Theater of the Living Arts. The Theater of the Living Arts hosts concerts right throughout the year, featuring music for all kinds of tastes. Its history dates back to the early 20th century when it opened as one of the first Nickelodeons, and since then it has served many functions, from movie theater to theater, and now a concert hall. A number of world-famous actors along the years have walked onto the stage of this theater, well known for its outstanding acoustics. Philadelphia's Magic Gardens. An incredible show of lights and colors on South Street itself, the Philadelphia's Magic Gardens occupy 3 lots. First opened in the late 60s, it's now a staple of the city. Including an art gallery for temporary exhibits and a huge mosaic maze created by the mosaic artist Zygar, it is an unmissable spectacle that everybody can enjoy. Tattooed Mom. This bi-level dive on South Street has something for everyone. The first floor bar welcomes you at the door. Have a seat at a table or grab a bar stool and take in the cool wall and ceiling hangings, like an original Adam Wallach-Cabbage chandelier. You'll find lollipops and diamond nickel toys scattered on every surface. Take a walk upstairs for a completely different feel. Every wall is covered with artwork and, including the bathrooms, but don't let that scare you away. Pool tables, a second bar, and a seating area that includes old bumper cars make this place the spirit of a carnival. Number 10. Queen Village. The earliest European settlements in Queen Village were part of New Sweden, in a region inhabited by indigenous Native American Indians. In the first half of the 20th century, Queen Village had grown into a racially diverse neighborhood of merchants and laborers living in dense enclaves, not unlike New York's Lower East Side. The worst aspects of the neighborhood between the First and Second Wars are forever etched in the novels of David Goodis. So, even with all that bad-sounding stuff, Queen Village has undergone a huge revitalization over the past 10 years. And now there are great restaurants and bars like Allianz, casual Middle Eastern fare. The Bainbridge Street Barrel House. Or how about El Rancho Viejo, Mexican food? Or the Golden Triangle, Thai food. And a really cool place, the New Wave Cafe Sports Bar. And there are some great shops like Bicycle Revolutions, Brickbat Books, The Cactus Collective. This vintage plus handcraft shop has a modern hippie vibe, with well-priced dresses, separates, accessories and jewelry. Professor Ouch's Bizarre Bazaar and Auditorium. This repository of kitsch caters to shoppers in the market for Mexican wrestling masks, vintage action figures, and more strange things. Tucker's Digs, vintage home decor. Nail salons, tattoos and piercings shops. Sweet Tooth, like a penny candy shop gone modern, this corner spot stocks more than 250 sorts of sweets, including old-fashioned cream-filled licorice and nearly healthful craisins, all sold by the pound. And Visionary Art Gallery, dedicated to representing the works of artists, dealing in spiritual and mystical themes.